Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that's likely a constant presence in your day. Yeah, those screens all around us.
Hmm.
And, well, the growing interest in deliberately stepping back from them. The whole digital detox idea.
That's right. We're going to delve into whether this always-on digital environment is, truly serving us.
Or if maybe it's having a less positive impact.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of us feel sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to put this into perspective for everyone listening, think about this. The average person spends around 7 hours every single day looking at a screen.
7 hours. It's quite a number.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's a massive chunk of our waking lives. And while, sure, technology offers incredible tools and connections, it's worth asking, what's really happening beneath the surface with all that screen time?
It's fascinating, actually, how professionals across different fields are increasingly recognizing the value of intentionally unplugging.
Right.
It isn't about, abandoning technology altogether, but more about strategically creating space away from it.
Okay, yeah, let's really clarify what we mean by digital detox for everyone. At its core, it's about setting up, well, healthier boundaries with your devices.
Exactly.
And it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing, is it?
No, not at all. For one person, it might mean, say, a complete break from all screens for a whole weekend.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. For someone else, it could just be setting daily limits on social media time. Or maybe just being more mindful, more conscious about when and how you engage with tech. The main idea is regaining a sense of control over our digital habits, not necessarily, total abstinence.
Right. It's not about dramatically chucking your phone off a bridge.
Uh-huh.
Although I think we've all had that fleeting thought. But yeah, instead, think of it more like a process. Evaluating your digital life, almost like Marie condoing your apps and online stuff.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Keeping what truly adds value or joy and kind of letting go of the digital clutter that's just, constantly vying for your attention.
That's a really helpful way to visualize it, actually. And when we think about that sheer amount of time we're spending staring at screens, one of the big areas impacted is, well, our mental well-being.
Absolutely. And there's actual research on this, right? Drawing connections between excessive screen time and increased feelings of anxiety.
Anxiety, sleep problems.
Sleep problems, yeah. And even symptoms linked with depression.
Yeah.
It's almost like our brains are just stuck in this constant state of processing and reacting.
And what's particularly interesting there is the flip side. When we do intentionally create some distance from our screens, we give ourselves a chance to reconnect, with ourselves, with the actual tangible world around us. That space lets us sharpen our focus, maybe reduce stress levels, and really prioritize our mental health. Think about it, the constant barrage of notifications. It can trigger this subtle state of hypervigilance.
Oh, right. Like always being on alert.
Exactly. And over time, that can contribute to anxiety.
Yeah.
Stepping away just lets that whole system kind of calm down.
It feels almost paradoxical. We often think being constantly connected keeps us informed, in the loop.
FOMO and all that?
Yeah. But maybe it's actually through disconnecting that we get more in tune with ourselves and what really matters.
Precisely. Think about those times when you've consciously decided, okay, phone away for a bit. A lot of people report finding this surprising amount of extra time. Time to, I don't know, go for a walk, cook a proper meal, or just unwind without that constant digital buzz.
Yeah, just quiet.
And this isn't just a nice little side effect. It can genuinely boost your sense of well-being and personal agency, feeling more in control.
Okay, now let's switch gears slightly. Something I know is often top of mind for you professionally. Productivity.
Ah, yes, productivity. We often operate under this assumption, don't we, that constantly checking emails, juggling multiple digital platforms, that equals efficiency.
Gotta stay on top of it all.
But the reality can be quite different. These frequent interruptions, they can actually be huge drains on our focus. They really hinder the quality of our work. There's this concept, attention residue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, even after you switch tasks, part of your brain's processing power is still kind of stuck on the last task. It makes you less efficient on the new one. And constant digital task switching just makes that worse.
It's like our attention is constantly being chopped up, fragmented, pulled in a million directions by notifications. The urge to just check something.
Exactly that.
That has to have a real impact on, the ability to concentrate deeply, to do that meaningful, focused work.
It absolutely does. So a digital detox, even just a temporary one during work hours, can help create those really vital stretches of uninterrupted time.
Right. deep work time.
Exactly. And that allows for deeper concentration, which then can foster, greater creativity, more effective problem solving, and ultimately just better overall efficiency.
So it's not just about feeling less frazzled. It could actually lead to real, tangible improvements in your work performance.
Yeah.
So that's a really compelling point.
It is, and there are very practical strategies people can try. Things like time blocking, setting aside specific chunks of time for focused work, or using something like the Pomodoro technique with those built-in screen-free breaks. Even something as simple as having designated physical zones, like no devices allowed in this area during work hours, can make a noticeable difference.
Like keeping the phone in another room.
Yeah, exactly. Some people find that really helps reduce the temptation when they're working on something critical. Just takes it out of sight, out of mind, mostly.
Okay, so the benefits of a digital detox seem pretty clear. We're talking better mental well-being, maybe increased productivity. But let's be real, in today's world, actually stepping away from our devices, it can feel like a huge challenge.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We've become so used to this constant connectivity that consciously choosing to disconnect, yeah, it can feel quite uncomfortable at first.
Yeah.
The key, though, like with most big changes, is probably balance and just starting small, manageable steps.
Okay, so what would some of those first achievable steps look like for someone listening right now?
Well, simple tweaks to your daily routine can be surprisingly powerful, like establishing a firm no screens during meals rule. It just allows for more present, maybe more meaningful interactions, right? Or implementing a tech-free hour before bed.
The sleep connection again.
Exactly. It can significantly improve sleep quality, partly by reducing exposure to that blue light from screens, which messes with melatonin production. Just gradually adding these habits is way more sustainable than trying some drastic overnight change.
That makes a lot of sense. It's often those small, consistent changes that really add up over time, isn't it?
Precisely. You could also maybe challenge yourself to a completely screen-free Sunday now and then, just to see what a full day without the usual digital noise feels like.
Interesting experiment.
It can give you valuable perspective on how much you rely on tech. Or, for a more data-driven approach, you could try using one of those app usage trackers on your phone for a week or two.
Oh, yeah, those can be eye-opening.
Totally. They give you a clear breakdown of where your time is actually going, helps you pinpoint specific apps or patterns you might want to cut back on. Seeing the actual numbers can be, well, quite something.
And it's really encouraging, too, to hear about other people trying similar things. Makes you realize you're definitely not alone in feeling this way.
Absolutely. Sharing our experiences, the struggles, the wins with digital detox can, build a broader understanding, encourage a more collective move towards just more mindful tech use.
So if we take a step back, look at the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
It sounds like this whole growing interest in digital detox isn't just about individuals changing habits.
Exactly. It really points to a larger societal trend, I think, a move towards a more conscious, more intentional way of interacting with technology. We're starting to see this greater recognition that our overall well-being isn't just physical and mental health. It also includes our, let's call it, digital health, our relationship with the digital world.
And for those listening who might be in leadership roles, this has implications beyond just their own personal phone habits, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Leaders have a huge opportunity here. They can set a really positive example within their organizations. Foster a culture that actually values healthier, more balanced technology use.
How so?
Well, it benefits everyone's mental well-being and productivity, right? So maybe initiatives like promoting meeting-free blocks of time so people can actually do focused work. Or genuinely encouraging employees to take proper breaks away from their screens during the day.
Yeah, not just saying it, but meaning it.
Right. Some companies are even trying out things like digital wellness programs. It's becoming part of the conversation about workplace well-being.
This has been a really insightful exploration, I have to say. So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, maybe let's leave everyone listening with a couple of thoughts to mull over.
Yeah, maybe start with this. What would a truly healthy and importantly sustainable tech life balance look like in your own life? Just take a moment to really picture that. And then perhaps thinking a bit broader, could your organization, your workplace, benefit from proactively embracing this trend? Moving towards more intentional technology use. Could that lead to healthier, maybe more effective working environments for everyone?
Those are definitely powerful questions to sit with. Maybe now is a good time to consider taking that step back, unplugging, even just for a little bit, and rediscovering some of the parts of life that, well, thrive beyond the screen. And hey, we would genuinely love to hear about your own experiences, your digital detox stories, big or small.
Yeah.
Please do share them with us.
Yeah, definitely.
Because ultimately, this isn't really about complete disconnection, is it? It's more about cultivating a more mindful, healthier, and just more intentional relationship with the technology that shapes so much of our modern world.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.